Hello friends, welcome to the second part of my presentation on Chinese Communist Party's sinister game plan and how they are going to benefit. That was also a part of their game plan. So in this part of the presentation, I'm going to talk more about what they are trying to take over from the world, how they are going to establish their hegemony in the field of advanced technologies. So that is the um, execution of their another objective, strategic objective, and that objective is Made in China 2025. That was first proposed by the Premier Li Qiang in 2015, and this plan was developed at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in China. The plan of course, is to take control of world's advanced technology sector. Um, they want to take the basically they want to become hegemony in the field of research and development of advanced technology, and then manufacture the devices and equipments using such technologies. Mainly, these are all most of them are ad- artificial intelligence based technologies. In my previous part of this presentation, I had mentioned about how Chinese authorities were attempting to masquerade as a savior of the humanity by sending the trying to send help to the countries who were struggling with coronavirus, that is CCP virus pandemic. And guess what? They had already hoarded all these medical essential supplies from all around the world. And as per their plan, they knew once the world starts suffering from this pandemic, they will face acute shortage of such supplies, and then they will attempt to play another part as per their well scripted, sinister game plan. But they were exposed very soon to the world community because whatever supplies, whatever equipments they had received from other parts of the world as part of donation, they were sending the same thing to other countries, and they were selling. Basically, they were back marketing the supplies to the countries. They were selling it for very highly escalated and highly marked up prices. And not only that, most of the supplies, the in some cases as much as 95% of their supplies basically were very faulty and defective. Uh, it was complained to Chinese authorities, and instead of apologizing, they were giving sermon back to these countries. They are selling it for escalated prices. It's actually a black marketing, and if, when these equipments or devices or protective gears are faulty, and when the countries which have received such faulty supplies, they're complaining to Chinese government. Instead of apologizing, again they're showing them the mirror. No, you don't know how to use them, and that's why you are complaining. At the same time, when world was closing down, China has ramped up its production in the field of all medical equipments as well as other industry also. Basically, they had started up producing everything in bulk so that they can mint money out of all these essential supplies, and that is how they have shown their actual face to the world community. You know, they had everything ready. All the logistics were in place because they knew what's going to happen and what they will be doing next and how they will be acting as part of this game plan. See, I never expect. I had expected, I could expect, the person like me could expect how low Chinese Communist Party can stoop. They can kill anyone for the sake of their petty, selfish objectives. They can loot anyone for the sake of their petty, selfish objectives. So, based on their past history, I could very well imagine they can go to any extent. So, they are making money out of human misery, human outcry, human uh, um, lives. People are dying and they are trying to make money out of that. And that is all I can expect from Chinese Communist Party. Please mark my word, I'm not trying to point finger on the Chinese ethnicity. I'm talking about the regime, which is a very, very vicious regime in the world. One of the very vicious, but it's the most vicious regime in the world. So when other countries are trying to bail out their businesses or their country from this kind of crisis, they, because they have been forced to dip into this deep economic crisis by China on purpose. And China is playing another game. China is buying out all the strategically important businesses from all around the world. Some of the countries have imposed new restrictions. So it's a part of their game, overall game. And it's a secret game plan, of course. And there's another secret and vicious game plan here is that they are planning to replace the world currency, that is right now it's the United States dollar, with the Chinese yuan, or with the digital currency where it takes lead in, you know, and it has its agents all around the world. They will be contacting you through this way or that way using social media apps, and they will be trying to trap people to get into digital business, digital currency business, cryptocurrency. So it's a kind of economic aggression it has shown to the world. And most importantly, they wanted to cripple some of the most advanced economies, including the US economy, anyhow or somehow. Have no human face, this is their real face. So I was talking about advanced technologies. So these technologies are, they want to acquire the entire advanced technology sectors from all around the world. Sectors include the some of the basically main of the 10 main technologies which are most advanced technologies. Advanced computer technology or information technology. I want to mention here for the benefit of the viewers that, as they are always vicious in their game plan. They are playing with the world throughout the last 70 years, ever since they came into power. Okay, they sent People's Liberation Army engineers and other officers to study computer technology, especially artificial intelligence based technology, and they did masters and PhDs there in Australia. With They sent these officers without letting them know that these officers are military officers, and then they return back with all those technology know-how, and they basically, it's a kind of theft, intellectual property theft. Okay, so those universities, some of the universities were knowing these kind of things. They were also, some of the uh, senior faculty members were really conniving with the Chinese authorities because they were sold out to Chinese. Okay, so they want to take control of advanced information technology, sustainable or green energy equipments, green energy efficient vehicles, They want to take control of aerospace technology and aviation sector. You know, right now due to this pandemic, Chinese Communist Party virus pandemic, and most of the businesses, all kinds of businesses are down. You know, and there are two leading um, aviation sector industries in the world. One is Boeing in the United States of America, and another one is the Airbus in the France. So these companies are shut, but they have ramped up their production now. They are coming out with their own passenger aircraft, although they had already floated their own passenger aircraft, which they have already tested, but they are coming out with the improvised mm, aircrafts, and they want to sell it to they want to offer it to the world, because they know the Airbus, oh sorry, Boeing as well as the Airbus, they're down. They, who knows, they might even want to buy out some of the stakes in these companies, big companies. Similarly, they're trying to take control of power technology and their equipments, production of their equipments, such as solar panel. They are already having a big um, market share in the solar energy. Okay, so wind energy projects, agricultural equipments, machineries, ocean technologies such as cruise. They have come out with these cruise ships, and they want to venture out in the high-tech yachts, high-tech ships. Okay, and of course, I'm talking about, if you talk about the armed forces, ocean technology has a lot to do with Navy. They have come out with their own vessels, their own ships, and they have also manufactured their own aircraft carrier. I don't know how much successful that aircraft carrier would be, but they have come out and they want to offer these uh, aircraft carriers or cruise ships or yachts or boats to other countries. Robotics and power engineering, of course, they are already into like part of advanced electronics engineering, semiconductors, em- artificial intelligence based robots, medical and pharmaceutical equipments and devices, high tech railways like high speed trains, bullet trains, etc. And another sector is called new material, which is very new fun concept in the science and technology, but it's a very, very important and strategically important sector, where you want to invent different kind of new material which are going to be used in electronics, in aerospace, or in the production of weaponries, etc. So, as I had mentioned, that they were planning, they one of the biggest aim is to displace the United States dollar from the world market and replace it either with the Chinese yuan or with the cryptocurrency, that is bitcoins, etc. You know, so for that, they are basically, in order to achieve all these objectives, they are out all over the world for the hostile takeover of the discounted strategic businesses. And as I had mentioned in my previous presentation, that the coronavirus was not a natural virus. Mark my words again. Please do note. I'm saying it lot of convictions, with lot of confidence, that this virus is not a natural virus, but instead it has been manufactured by the Wuhan Institute of Virology under the clear-cut and uh, straight directives and instructions from the Chinese Communist Party. And as part of their plan, they had already done lots of research on the behavior and pattern of replication of this coronavirus, as well as they had also come out with the solution for the cure for COVID 19. And as part of their game plan, because when they had already found out the effective medication, which they haven't shown to the world, I know that, but they already have solution for that. Okay, and I'm sure they are already sitting on a big time stockpile of COVID-19 medication. And I want to bring to your notice one more fact about this pandemic and the virus. Until 14th of January 2020, WHO, World Health Organization, under the leadership of Dr. Tedros, was parroting the same narrative, Chinese narrative, stating that this virus, is a different kind of flu type of virus which does not transmit from human to human. But okay, on 20th, they have confirmed that this virus is transmitting from human to human. And less than 24 hours after that, Chinese company had filed an application for the patent of medication for COVID-19. Of course, it was not termed as COVID-19 at that time, but can you believe how come they were able to find out the medication for the virus treatment within less than 24 hours? That clearly indicates without any doubt that they had already done lots of research, lots of trial, okay, and this virus was already invented by them, and it was uh, like released to the society under the directives of Chinese Communist Party, and thus it was taken out of China, you know, by way of people traveling back and forth from outside China to Wuhan city, or from Wuhan city to outside world. So that is what I feel here. And I also want to mention this is a part of their biowarfare game plan. It's a conspiracy, and they are executing it step by step. As I mentioned, that it is a clear cut, well written script of Chinese Communist Party, and attempts to cripple the all the advanced countries, advanced economies of the world. U.S. is the topmost economy in the world. So Germany is, France, and United Kingdom, they all have high ranking economy, high class economy. They are advanced in military technology as well. Okay, so something to use to cripple these countries' economy, and thus to cripple the entire association of G7 group of nations and NATO group of nations. So they want to cripple all these countries. They want to achieve another objective of division among European Union, among G7, among the NATO countries. And this was Corona invasion was the best way of achieving that objective. And at the same time, they are buying out all those businesses around the world which are facing distress due to this pandemic. And that is the actual face of Chinese Communist Party. Somebody may not imagine or may not expect this kind of thing to happen in reality, but I have been watching their moves, geopolitical moves and decisions, all these their actions, Chinese Communist Party's action for last 25 years, more than 25 years, and I have found they are very deceitful. They are very very sneaky. They do not tell people what exactly is their intent, and they are always keeping the world community in dark, and then they stab everyone from the back, and that is their actual face. They can stoop to any low to achieve their deceitful objectives. Very very uh, sinister or very very vicious plan, and that is what exactly they are doing through this biowarfare that has been waged on the world. I really thank you all for your patience and your time. If you have any question, I would be more than happy to explain to you. And if you want to give me a feedback, please do so. I would really appreciate so that I can improve in my next presentation. And I also would really appreciate if you can Give me a thumbs up if you like some of the contents, if not all. Okay, I know I have to do a lot of other things also to make it look more interactive. Working towards that. Okay, and I would also appreciate if you can subscribe to this channel. Thank you very